Good morning, YouTube. Let's take a moment of silence for the men and women who's fighting in this war on the behalf of America.
She says she's been bitten from head to toe.
I don't know what been chewing on me, but I know I'm ate up on me. Watch how she on the scope.
The Lord loves me. Man, good morning, YouTube. Kilo Cho. I've been trying to tell you guys about that young man. I don't know if you've seen him this week, but NBA Youngboy did a feature with Kilo Cho. I have to say his name like this because his name is funny. I talked about this gospel artist a couple of weeks ago on one of the other videos, and I was like, he is one of the young men to look for, and to see him recently catching a feature from NBA Youngboy. I think the hip-hop community missed it. You really missed it. So if you haven't seen it, go over and check out the young man's Kilo Cho. I think he's out of Florida. I think if he's not a Dade County young man, right? Go and check him out. I love the song they did together. It's called Creeping. Gotta get out of my head. Gotta get on my mind. Listen, the young man is really bringing authenticity and his creativity to the table concerning hip hop and rap in a gospel form, but it's so relatable because in this time, like I said in the first clip, with the wars and the things that's going on, a lot of people need something to help give them some kind of stability, right? Because the ship is kind of rocky, and I don't think we're talking about it enough. And hip hop, R&B, rap, music, period, have always been the tool that the powers that be use to kind of keep the masses in control, whether it's to keep you calm during the storm, right? So when I heard Kilo Cho come out with NBA Youngboy this week, I saluted NBA Youngboy for that. I thought it was a great look for him. I don't know if you've been listening to me for a while, but I wouldn't say I was necessarily questioning NBA Youngboy, but I'm watching his career, right? And to see him growing is something that I thought that maybe he needed. And I think jumping on this feature with this gospel artist Kilo Cho, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great move. I thought it was a chess move for NBA Youngboy. So salute NBA Youngboy. Go and listen to the song. In the song, he talked about when he came in on his verse, NBA Youngboy, he talked about how, man, I'm wrestling with this thing, what I'm doing, these things in the world. He said, but this what made me famous. This kind of way that I rhyme, or this kind of way that I talk. This is what made me famous. But he was in the rhyme. He was like, but I'm wrestling with that. I ain't really happy with that. Go over, listen to the song. It's called Creeping Through. Kilo Cho. I love it. I think the young man is a great artist. I think he's authentic. I think we've been listening to manufactured artists for so long. We don't even know how to identify realness. It's hard for us to identify realness. Once again, it's good. Go over and watch it. Listen, hello everybody. I'm Miss Tia from the I Am Miss Tia show. Listen, I talk hip hop, my love for hip hop, rap. Also, I talk some political things that goes on in the world. This is what I do over here on my channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Listen, also leave a comment if you ain't scared. I do talk back. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to get away from this series called Who's Here for Hip Hop? Who's destroying it and who's pushing it? But for some reason, people keep coming up, and it's making and allowing me to continue this series of who is here for hip hop. Who is here? So this week we had a lot of culprits that showed you that maybe they was plants or imps or people that really didn't belong or don't get it, but they are here. And to be honest with you, I think it was a downfall to the music in such a way. Listen, I got some great topics today. I'm talking about, like I said, people who I feel like that came into the industry, into this genre, with not good intentions and was used for certain things. So I'm talking about the Bootsies. I'm talking about some activist stuff. Cameron, right? A lot of people. This week, you got Boosie, right? He stepped up to the plate to me, and it made me think it's as Bootsy is kind of like an icon out of the South. I still question his narrative sometimes. I still question, who is he? I'm like, why is he here, Ike? Why? Why is he here, Ike? So I really question him sometimes when I see him, when he comes up in the news. Sometimes he camouflages himself as somebody that's a part of the culture, but then on the other hand, he kind of gives me somebody else. But anyway, this week, I don't know if you noticed, he talked about how he made a big stir and he was, I wouldn't say influencing, but just kind of like, I don't know, just causing issues about jailhouse stuff. And I question his place in hip hop. It reminds me of Kanye. I think Kanye kind of revealed who he was a while ago. I hope y'all caught that. But Kanye, where is Kanye when we need him? He kind of always be the one to kind of tell us truth, even when we don't want to hear it. But he kind of tell us truth a lot. So he found his way in the community, distracting. I think that's the word I'm looking for. He was distracting people with a conversation about him and Kodak Black going back and forth, talking about things that goes on in prison. It's like, why are we talking about that? That shouldn't even be a conversation right now with everything that's going on. And even in hip hop, I think that kind of activity that was implemented in hip hop was kind of one of the issues that kind of brought it down, or really just messy, making it messy, muddy, making hip hop kind of muddy. So Boosie, he's one of those artists that kind of make me question his stance here. Why is he here, right? Go over and look. I just think it's very distracting. I think it's very distracting, and I think a lot of people are showing who they are in this moment. You either got it or you ain't. And to me, a lot of them showing me that they ain't really got it. But anyway, let's move on. 50 Cent back in the news. Y'all know he's one of the ones, which I do believe 50 Cent is a lover and someone who loves this genre of hip hop. But sometimes his antics is going a little bit too far too. And it's like, okay, so what are you doing now when it comes to hip hop? What's your stance here? What are you doing? You know, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but this is the time to question everybody. Like, we calling everybody to the table and we questioning, like really, who sent you? Who sent you here? What's going on? Right? This is the time to question everybody. But anyway, I wanted to ask this question about the 50 Cent. If you're watching, he's back and forth with a lot of other artists, and he's been doing a lot of strange things with people in this community for a while. And I talked about him on the first 2 series of this Who's Here for Hip Hop. You here to destroy, to push it. But I wanted to say, do you think the way 50 Cent is moving now, would this be a problem for his career? Is this something that would go down in the books of like a hindrance? Is this a bad look for him concerning his career? Is he noticed more now about causing issues? And I know people will fight and say, well, he came in fighting and being a problem in the community, so it's nothing new. But it's tiring. Right? It's like, okay, so what is really about? It's very tiring. You know, 50 Cent remind me of the boyfriend. You be like, I wish he found a girlfriend. You know, so he can move on. You know, that's a lot. Let me tell you, boys, girls, some girls think about that. They think like that when it comes to complicated relationships. They be like, oh, I hope he finds somebody so he can move on, because he giving me hell, right? You know, we think like that sometimes. We're like, oh, I hope he finds somebody else. He can leave me alone. So to me, I feel like that's how I feel about it right now with 50 Cent. I saw him put out some kind of untitled type of response or something. I don't know if you guys paying attention to that. And then the song I'm listening, and he talked about this is how I became who I am with my issues before things that happened to me in the street. But listen, why are we responsible for that hurt? Like hip hop should not be responsible. You know, hip hop became this genre where everybody's kind of dumping their issues on us. Listen, I don't mind hearing where you came from and how you know, what's going on with you. But listen, I don't want to be the one to have to be punished for it. I think that's the thing. I don't want to be punished for the people that hurt you. So let's get back to really making music in hip hop that can carry the culture in a better way, right? It's a lot of topics today that's kind of real touchy. So I hope we get through this. I don't know if you've seen this. BillyCorgan. Right? BillyCorgan. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know how young a lot of you guys are, but I remember BillyCorgan from the group Smashing Pumpkins. And this was what, 90s, right? Smashing Pumpkins. You remember Smashing Pumpkins? But anyway, I don't know if you know this too, but I think BillyCorgan is also the brother to, is it Bill Burr? Ain't Bill Burr, aren't they brothers? Listen, go and look it up. I do believe. But anyway, recently he had a interview, and in the interview he exposed that he thinks that MTV and the CIA may have colluded to torpedo rock and roll. Listen, a lot of people, because I'm listening to a lot of people's shows, different platforms where a lot of people who's from the rap community went on, they feel like he don't know what he's talking about, or is given like jealousy, or maybe even a little racist. But I'm going to say this. This is just my opinion. This is just me. This is just Miss Tia. For me, I believe BillyCorgan have a point. And in so many ways, reasons, I do believe he's correct. And I know that may be strange for a lot of people in the hip hop community to take, but I think that's been an assignment for all genres. I think everybody from each genre can come and tell how at one point of time we started off like this, and then all of a sudden it ended up another way. So I do believe I don't think it's a racist statement. And I heard a lot of people, young women on platforms, which they're very young. I don't even think they really remember when a lot of this started. But I do believe BillyCorgan have a legitimate statement. And I agree. I agree with him. I do believe something happened. Someone came in and maybe colluded to destroying, because even right now, the rap community is in a dysfunctional place. And when you think about how when the drill music came in, right, that kind of did a lot in the past couple of years. Drill music was damn near a detriment to hip hop and rap. Think about it, right? Even when the women had their moment, and this is to the women, when the women had their moment, I think they even put a dent in hip hop and rap that maybe kind of made it dysfunctional. Listen, I love all of these artists, but when you think about it and when you saw the things that was allowed to happen, it kind of makes sense. I remember when Kanye West said this to Cardi B, and she wasn't happy about it because I don't think she understood. And a lot of people don't understand what goes on. But Kanye revealed something. He said that the industry was using her. They was using her. She wasn't really what she thinks she is. Listen, I know it was a blow, but you got to pay attention. Kanye really speaks a lot of facts a lot, right? When he's not too angry. Because sometimes he speaks out of anger to hurt. But a lot of times he speaks truth. He reveals a lot. But I remember when he said that about Cardi B, he said she's used for a certain thing. And so this is what made me agree to the BillyCorgan. Listen, you may not agree with me. If you don't, that's okay. I'm just giving my point of view. And I remember when This had to have been what, late 80s, early 90s, late 80s. Remember when this was the New York artists, right? All the New York artists, they got together and they made a song called Self-Destruction, right? They at this time, New York artists, they kind of seen something that a lot of us didn't see. And making that song Self-Destruction, I think, now that I look back on it, I think it was them speaking out saying, hey, something's changing. This thing is different. Somebody coming in and doing something different. And you had the implement of different things. The West Coast, the South. Even though everybody who came in at the time, the West Coast brought a lot of the gangster rap, right? The South brought a lot of the, a lot of people say the dancing, the stripping, the sex in, right? Even though I think we didn't notice it, right? Because, when you in it, you don't know it. But somebody on the outside knew bringing in all of those implements would cripple and buckle the statue of this thing called hip hop. I just do believe. So once again, it goes back to the BillyCorgan. I agree. I kind of agree. Something happened. And as much as I love that music, I'm from the South, I love the 8-Ball, the MJGs, the UGKs, the Scarface, Texas, the Memphis. We love the NWA. We love that. But it was for a reason. And then you brought the drill in, right? And then you brought the women in. I know that's going to be hard for hip hop. So when I watched a lot of the people discussing BillyCorgan's statement and his opinion, I think a lot of people couldn't see past him saying hip hop was torpedoed for rap. Remember? You remember when Run DMC did the Walk This Way with Aerosmith and they bust down the wall? I took that as, when I think about it, I took that as a sign of right there that was showing us that rap was about to come in and take over rock. And I think the power that be knew that this music and the rap and the rock, they know the importance of using these things as tools. I know that's going to be hard. I love hip hop too. I just the thought of people using my genre that I love for a tool to destroy, it hurts my feelings. Because all I'm thinking is we're the CNN of the streets. We're just seeing what's going on. But then when you see certain things that's implements in, like the DJ Academics, the Adam 22s, the What's the Dirks, who's taking advantage and really talking down and using their power as a detriment to talk and crucify artists that really can be used to help lift up this genre, it makes sense. Listen, think about it. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I kind of agree. Leave a comment. If you ain't scared, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. That's just my opinion. Let's move on. Okay, let's get into something else. Kanye West. Listen, right now, I wish that I was one of the people in this queue, right? They said Kanye West live concert at the Sophie, am I saying that right? Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles, April the 3rd, right? They said over 1 million fans was in the ticket queue. Crazy. How many people do that stadium hold? 100,000? How many people? They said over 1 million kids, fans was in the queue trying to purchase a ticket to that concert. Man, listen, somebody gonna have to put that on the satellite. I gotta see this. I'm in Alabama. I can't get to Cali right now. But man, wouldn't I love to be there? Y'all know I am a fan of Kanye. I love Kanye. I'm telling you. Kanye, I know. Kanye could do some wild stuff. But that's my brother. They said this was the first time in 2 years that Kanye is set to perform in the States, right? That's crazy, right? Kanye been on such a behavior thing that for 2 years they wouldn't allow him to come and perform. So that's gonna be a night. That's gonna be a night. Listen, put it up. Somebody gotta put it up. I gotta see it. Because if you saw the Mexico concert that he did for a couple of days, crazy. So man, oh my goodness. You can buy me a ticket if you want to. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Who I'm talking about now. Oh, I didn't get to talk about this. Everyone knows Jesse Jackson, the civil rights activist. He passed, and I think last week they had his funeral. So I wanted to come in and say rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. No matter what people think about it, he was one of the ones who was standing in the gap for the time that it was needed for people of color. So you gotta just do that. Even though some people don't know what's going on, listen, they donated their body, their health, their families for this cause. So you gotta salute these men and women who do that. But recently he had a funeral, and I don't know if you guys seen this, but his son, Jesse Jackson Jr., he was very upset. He came out very bold and said he do not want to turn his father's funeral into a political stance. He don't want to talk political. And to be honest with you, if you watched it, if you've seen some of the clips, it turned out to be a political debate, conversation, rally for the Democrat Party to come in. This is what their time to talk to the people, right? Let's just be honest. So the son was very upset about it. But as I watched the son and I recently looked at some of the past things that was going on in his life, I don't think people remember this, but he did a 30-month federal prison stint for financial fraud under the Obama administration. And I do believe he got some bitterness there towards that. And what likely so, right? Especially when you see a lot of the people who's in these powerful positions, they using pardons for their children and friends. So I believe this was an issue not only for Jesse Jackson Jr., but maybe even something his father probably kind of related to him before the passing. I'm pretty sure, because when you are alone, you speak different when it comes to your family. So I'm pretty sure that I think he was kind of really revealing, if you paid attention, that his father probably wasn't too happy, allegedly, with what was going on, and with him coming out so boldly saying, hey, we don't want that here. I do believe that revealed a lot of what may be or what was said behind the scenes concerning these parties or just this relationship that Jesse Jackson had with the community. So first of all, I just want to say rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. And I get it. I understand it. And I think his son literally had the right to be vocal and passionate about what he wanted when it was concerned his father's funeral. And I think everybody need to acknowledge that and honor that, right? So I wanted to hit that because I didn't get to talk about that last week. Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson, right? Speaking of activists, right? Did you see this? Tamika Mallory, she came out this week. She says Target will never apologize. It's a statement. Target would never apologize to the black community. She said, y'all pause the protest. The protest is on pause. But she said she insists that the boycott is still on. This is what I wanted to say. I don't think Tamika got the memo, because somebody tapped her on the shoulder and said, they ain't going to apologize to Tamika because this is America. And their apology is they paid you. They gave you money, right? Is it me? Is it me? Because, I seen Al Sharpton, right, at the table with the Target CEOs. And I'm pretty sure they got a nice bag for that. Like, let's be honest. This is the time, sometimes the black community, to me, I feel like y'all don't really speak truth to power, right? Like, let's tell the truth. You got paid. That's the apology. right? Now, where did the money go? That should be the question, Tamika. Tamika, hello? Tamika, the question should be, Al Sharpton, where did the money go for the black businesses in the community? Because I'm pretty sure no one received anything. But you never do. And when you come out and say what's truth, you get criticized or deemed that you the enemy towards the organization or your community. No, I'm just asking a question. I don't see the results of our actions. So I think, Tamika, let's be honest. If you're not going to be real and you asking the real questions, I don't know if I'm kind of believing you being this activist that you say you are. I don't know. I've never really bought it with Tamika Mallory, right? I'm sorry. You call me what you want. But if you can't ask the real questions and be crucified for that, then I don't believe you're a real activist. To me, you part of the plate as well. And the black community, y'all, come on, stop being crazy. A lot of y'all really want to ask these questions, but you know you can't because you're scared of what the masses will say to you. Let's ask the real questions. Where did the money go? We saw Al Sharpton sitting at the table. Right? You remember Jamal Brown? He was another one. He the one came out and said that the boycott is over. See, these are topics and stuff that people don't want to talk about. I can't do it. I'm not fake. I just have to tell the truth. He wanted everybody to boycott Dollar Tree, remember? Right? And then all of a sudden that was over. Why? Because allegedly he may have got a bag, right? I seen where he had the people in his church. They didn't have to pay tithes for a month. Somebody got some money, right? Oh. Come on. See, this is why when you hear people like a BillyCorgan and a Kanye, when they say stuff that really is truth, you guys do not like to hear it because you hate truth. You hate the truth. Let's be honest. So Tamika, don't come to tell me. Quit asking the public things. You know who you need to go and speak to. Go have the conversations with the Al Sharptons. Go have the conversations with the Jamal Bryants and with the young lady who started these protests when it was concerning Dollar Tree and the Targets. Because we never heard anything else about it. And like we do in our community, we just go on like it's nothing. You get a couple of us who get money, and then they go and direct everybody else to be quiet. Come on, be honest. Be honest. See, this won't like the fool, child. Anyway, let's move on because this is what it's gonna be. And you call me what you want. Call me what you want. I'm what you want. But I'm the truth. I'm telling the truth. Cameron came out and said IG models, he don't understand. He don't care about their followers. He don't even understand why they calling themselves influencers. Who are they influencing? And what are they influencing people to do? Listen, I'm not crazy about Cameron, but God damn it, I finally agree with him, right? What are you influencing? He said you only influencing people to look up under your skirt. He makes sense, right? Right? Who used them, right? It makes me question how they're used to do stuff in our community. Woo. Right? Because when you look at the IG girls who you call yourself influencers, what do they do? I don't see them telling young women to be innovators, right? Right? I don't see it. It's mostly twerking, right? Listen, do what you want to do. Prostitute, if that's what you do, it. But to call yourself an influencer, I understand, Cameron. What are you influencing people to do? Be destructive. Let's be honest. I know it. Shout out to Cameron for being honest. Because most men, I noticed this too. I'm going to take this back. Most men tells the truth right now. A lot of men are telling the truth in this time. I have to salute men. They're really telling the truth in this time. Okay, Nas Barkley. Right? Nas Barkley. CeeLo, and I can't think of the other young man, right? They got a new album coming out, Atlanta. First album since 2008. I think I love that first Nas Barkley project. Well, right? I think we all kind of understood that, right? Did you see CeeLo on the cover of the last album with a dress on? What do you think about that? Did we notice that CeeLo had a dress on? Was that an issue then, right? Because, Young Thug came and did it, and we kind of crucify him right now for it. But did we notice that CeeLo wore the dress? Did we have a conversation? Listen, today is a truth. Did we have a conversation? Now, I love CeeLo. Down. But did we question the dress? Okay. I guess that's why they won't let me hear with. Okay, let's do. Have a great day.